YouTube. It's now with Olympus Reptiles. And we're chuckling because there was some really weird shit said off camera before this video started. And we can't share it. Maybe we share it on Patreon. Maybe. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. Maybe we just let that go. I don't know. But we are here today to talk about some snakes. And again, we just shared some of Caleb's favorite pairings. So another thing I often do is talk about some of my favorite holdbacks every year. And rather than me do it this year, we thought we'd let Caleb talk about some of his favorite holdbacks for Olympus this year. So I'm just going to get out of here and let you do your thing, man.
Yeah.
It's all you.
So I picked 5 baby. There's technically 6, but I picked 5. 5 were self-produced. One was actually a purchase / given. It was given. It was gifted, but I paid for shipping, so that part kind of took care of it. So there was some money exchange. But I have 6 that I picked out of last year's holdbacks. There are some that haven't been moved over that I forgot about, but we'll get to those later at another day. They probably don't even top what's in here. These are my favorite of the year. So the first one we're going to talk about is going to be insignificant looking. It's not necessarily what it looks like. It's more of what it holds, what it means. And 2 things. One, this is probably my favorite snake. Second favorite snake we hatched this year, not because of its genetics, but because this thing was actually born with a hole in its belly and was leaking egg fluid and all kinds of things. And I thought, oh my God, it's going to die. Like, there's nothing we can do about that. You can see its insides. And as you can see, it's still here. It survived. And it's doing really, really well. Actually, I know it looks kind of small for being one of the earlier clutches, I believe. This is a double het pied toffee / albino. Yeah. This is a toffino to pied pairing. So it's either het for albino or het for toffee. So obviously the goal there is to make toffino pieds, albino pieds, stuff like that, which should be really, really cool. Because again, I know I talked a little bit in the last video about lavender pieds. Albino pieds and toffino pieds are also really incredible and something I'm looking forward to. So not only am I excited because this is a step into that project, but also this little baby is like a survival story. Because it was, when I mean it was leaking out fluids, it was like leaking out fluids. Like I was afraid to even put that thing on its stomach because I just thought, it's going to come out. It took about 2 sheds for it to completely seal. And now you can almost, I don't even think you can see, look. There's a little bit of a crease there, but it's almost completely gone. It's eating on its own, growing and doing well. So really excited about this baby for what it can do, and also just a cool little story that it freaked me out. The next one is one I talked about last video, so no surprise that it's in here, and it's that Mind Flare project. But if you didn't watch the last video, just to kind of backtrack and kind of go over this whole thing, the mom is a... Oh, I pointed to the wrong parents. Still same genetics. It's actually these parents. In the last video I said it was these. It was the banana to calibi. So dad is a banana. Mom is a calico pastel spider. Obviously this is not any of those things or any of those things combined. Very drastically different looking. You have a really gray stripe down the back with some, you've probably seen it as a reflection, but those white spots are actual white spots. It was born with that. These aren't missing scales. Those scales are fully there. If you can look close enough, I don't know if you can even see it, but it's actually pixelated with the scales. So it's not like it's missing anything or anything like that. This is just how it truly looks. I will say, for full disclosure, this could be a paradox. I could be getting excited over nothing, or this could not be, and it's something really exciting that turns out to be something fun and new to play with. We don't know. We won't know for a little while, and that's okay, but that still makes this fun. Even if this turns out to be a paradox, can't even be reproducible, this is still probably one of my favorite snakes we've hatched just because it is incredible looking. It's one of a kind. No one will have anything like it, and I would guess it's safe to say that even if it can't be reproducible and this is just a normal, I don't think it'll likely go anywhere. Maybe not. No, I'm getting head shakes no, because that was a good assumption, because if not, I'd probably just buy it for myself then, because I think it's pretty cool. The next one is a personal favorite of mine, for a simple reason that for the last 7 years I have made it my personal vendetta to argue with someone online. I know that sounds childish, and it is. I am a child. But vendetta, to argue whether this gene actually exists or not. This is a super blitz. Full proof that this thing exists. Now, I know that said person is going to say I haven't bred it yet. We haven't bred it yet, so we can't prove it's a super. But I can take this and set it next to another blitz and tell you that there is a drastic difference. And if you cannot see otherwise, then you need to get your eyes checked. Many other people have made super blitzes. It is not a new thing. So I'm really excited about this because our blitz line we work here is really awesome. And so to be able to get a super form of it, watch it age and see how it grows is incredible. And I believe this is a female, so that's just a good female to hold back because the worst thing we can make is a blitz, and a very nice blitz at that. And you can put that into, throw the blitz male back to it, and half the clutch will be super blitzes, which is not bad at all. Or if you want something to guarantee, like a project we have that we want to guarantee blitz into it, it's a great female to have around. And so not only is it good genetics for us, but also just the whole, I've been fighting for 7 years to prove this thing exists to a singular person who I really shouldn't have wasted that much energy on. It was just kind of fun. It's right here. Proof in the pudding. Alrighty. The next one. It's something that I think we had a little discussion about which version we liked with the pastel or without the pastel more. I still like the pastel version more. But without pastel, I still think is a phenomenal snake. And that is this right here. So the parents we used a bell. Pastel bell to GHI male. So this is a lesser pastel GHI. Look at all the white and the pattern coming in on this. This is the contrast. I don't know if it's picking up very well on camera, but the contrast on this is actually insane. And I one thing I would like to add to this is fire. We've made some firefly GHIs, but without the lesser, and they looked really, really awesome. We've made fire GHIs that looked really, really awesome. So I think adding fire to this to increase that contrast. And if I was to throw this to a recessive, I would say Desert Ghost, because again, Desert Ghost increases that contrast. And I know people take Xanthic to a different way, but I think Xanthic also might be fun because there's starting to come some yellow as this ages bleed through. And I think that would be a really nice white to add more contrast and kind of an interesting looking snake. That's not maybe the best use of Xanthic, but I think it would be a really interesting looking snake. And I just like this thing. It's just a weirdly different looking snake than what we've hatched. And it's not really how I thought this would work. As well as, again, I guess every hatchling I brought out has a story behind it, but we didn't actually know pastel was in the bell. I think if we looked at the paperwork, we assumed there was a possibility. We never actually proved out the pastel in it because we ended up writing it on her sheet, I believe. Maybe not. But, so, interesting. Yeah, and that's a new sticker. So, yeah, another fun story is we proved out having pastel in the bell. We didn't even know we had it. Obviously, dad to that was probably Cerastis is what we call it. I can't even say it the right way. Cerastis is how it's pronounced, but we call it something else. So being a lesser pastel, that was probably a given that it could possibly be in there. So the last one of things that we produced is actually a snake that when we first hatched, I thought, it's not as great as I thought it would be because we didn't even know that the super was in it. But then we did, and as it aged, it actually is becoming one of my favorites. I know I say that a lot. Bear with me. I will say that with every snake I hold, probably. But this is a super banana black pastel. When it was first born, it just kind of looked like a banana black pastel. But as it's aged, banana black pastels turn really, really purple. And this has turned out more like what I thought a snow would look like. Because our snow, as it's gotten older, kind of looks like a bell with very faded white. But this has like if you were to take a banana black pastel, put it in shed, and put another gene in it that washes it out a little bit, and it comes very faded. And I actually love this look. There's a lot of oranges and purple to it. So I actually really, really enjoy this snake. And it's doing really, really well. So this is... again, bear with me because I'm not great with the whole male maker, female maker. But since this came from, it's a male, so it's going to, I don't know. I'm not even going to try. That hurts my head thinking about it. It's a super. Yes. 50-50. Right, but the males that come from it will be male makers, I believe. Well, I'm not sure. I don't either. If I had to a piece of paper, I could do it pretty quickly, but we're not going to do that because that's not what today's topic is about. But also a really just pretty snake, one of my favorites that we held back just because it's aged really well and done really well. So those are the ones we hatched and produced. This next one is one that I picked up that I know I just complimented myself in the Patreon video for not talking about clown, but now we're going to talk about clown because I'm excited about this one. So it's in shed, so it doesn't look its greatest right now. But what we have is what I was sent was a leopard, possible orange dream, clown, possible het pied. I have genetic tested it and it has come back. It is leopard, orange dream, clown, 100% het pied. So we hit the whole shebang on it. And so it is a male, and it's a really nice male, actually. When it's shed, its head is really, really orange, and it's really cleaned up. It's a really nice-looking snake. So I will start delving deeper into the Clown Pied project. I have a female over there that I shed tested. It is a pastel spider, 100% het pied, 100% het clown, also 100% het axanthic. So I'll hit the shebang on that one, too. So I have a nice pair that also I could have axanthic running around as well in that. But so this male is just a lot of fun because clown pieds are a project I've talked about for a little while, something I've wanted to delve into and add genes into to make look real nice. And so I got myself one, and it's probably one of my favorites that we have purchased so far. Not necessarily one of my favorites when you add it in compared to what we've produced. I think things you produce have a little bit more sentimental value to them. Now, the person who produced it is a good friend of mine, so like it is fun to be able to send him updated pictures and talk about it and stuff like that. But as far as what means more to me, these all have some crazy story to them, almost every single one, and it's just fun, and it's something we hatched out and got to see since it came out of the egg. You know, I take care of the babies, Matt kind of takes care of the adults, so when there's one that's struggling, while he does help out when I have a bunch that are struggling, but if I have one or two, I can kind of take care of it myself. So some of these I really had to bring from, not necessarily these specific ones, but a lot of, like, some babies you'll have that you feel attached to because you were in thinking it's going to die any second now to now it's doing really, really well because you had to do some sort of intervention of, like, assist feeding and, you know, just things just happen in general. So you're just, it's a struggle. So it means more to you when they make it out on top, and you can even add it to your holdback. And so while I do enjoy this thing and I'm super excited about it, these have more sentimental value to me, if that makes sense. But other than that, Matt, any questions?
There were questions. I guess the only thing I'd say I'm surprised on, well, two things. One, I'm surprised the ivory didn't make it in here. The ivory blood.
I thought about it, but
just knowing you, I know how you feel about that animal.
I know. I don't know why I didn't pick that, but I know why I didn't pick that. It's in shed and it blew up its enclosure, and I just didn't want to mess with it before we filmed. That's an after film problem I'll deal with.
When a blood blows this enclosure up, yeah. And then two, again, we talk about some of the differences. I guarantee you, if I would have done this video, there'd have been some crossover. Probably the Super Banana, probably the Super Blitz. But one thing that is missing in here, had I done it, would have definitely shown. This just is, which doesn't mean you did it wrong. I'm just saying it's just everybody has different tastes. That's why having more people is beneficial. Would have been axanthic. There wasn't a single axanthic in there.
That's true.
And for me,
yeah, that lemon blast axanthic we have would have probably been there.
Fucking A, it would have been there. Spinner. You set it right here. I'll go get it. I'm going to show one. Blast. This is just kind of like show the difference in opinions, right? Where are you at, buddy?
Like third row.
There he is. Like this would have been in there, for me. And what this is a pastel spider pinstripe axanthic, right? This snake is just fucking awesome. Like, for me, this is awesome. I'd rather have one more copy of pastel in there, lighten this up, or a copy of fire maybe to lighten this up some more. But this is the kind of thing that really pushes me to continue, is making this. And then, when you look in your bucket, it's got a whole lot of color in there, right? You mentioned this might go well with axanthic, but there's no Xanthic in there. That's one of the things too for YouTube when we brought Caleb on. I was excited about, right? Because I know that when you have one person doing things, if I was fully money minded, and I always say, I'm really not about the money anymore, and it's really not. That doesn't mean we can't make a profit. We have to make a profit to continue doing it, but it's not, hey, everything is driven to make the most profit possible. That's not who I am as a person, and that's not how I do this. So what tends to happen is, hey, these are decently profitable snakes. I really like this gene. Then I start to focus so much on one thing that I really like. That other things that would still fall in that category of what we should be working kind of fall the wayside. So I don't give a fuck about it as much, like I do this Xanthics. When you have other people's opinions in there, then it kind of picks up those things that maybe I'm going to just drop the ball on because it's not that important to me, and brings those projects more to the forefront of importance to us. And before, Kurt was doing that on some things, and of course I'm pushing the Xanthic and certain other things. So bringing in that third opinion really helped that along. So it's a good thing that there's no Xanthic in your bucket, because my bucket would not have a fucking clown in it, but it would have definitely some Xanthic in it.
Yeah.
But that lesser GHI pastel probably would have made it, and the super banana probably would have made it, and the super blitz would have probably made it, and the mind flare might have made it, but this guy would have definitely kicked the clown's ass out, or maybe the lesser GHI's ass out, or the double het thing out.
Yeah.
We would have just
there.
Maybe a bit one more Xanthic in there instead too. I don't know. All right, anything you got to add, Kurt?
No.
Okay, anything else? You
Nope.
got to sign this off. I'm not signing this shit off. It's you, baby.
That is all. So, in the comments, let me know if there's something in here that we hatched that you liked better, or tell me what one of those that I picked that you liked the most. Other than that, we're going to a show in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, that's right.
The 21st of
that
April.
right?
I think. Yes. Curtis shaking his head yes. So 21st of April, we'll be at Lincoln. I'll be there this time. Don't have to have anything taken out of me. So I will be there. And come out. Come say hi.
I want to mention too, so we got to plan on that Lincoln show. Okay. We are going to take half of our profits. Again, this is, we talk about money ain't the most important thing to us. It's really not. But we're going to take half of our profits. That is what we sell minus our expenses. Our expenses are really low. We got table fees, some gas, and we probably have to eat some fast food. Okay? That's our expenses for the show. So one day drive, no hotel is why we chose this one to do it. And we are going to donate half of those profits to our local Sunset Zoo. So if you do come see us there and you choose to buy an animal there, hey man, you're just going to go to a good cause. If you want to just give money to the zoo, we'll tell you how to do that too, and you can give it to that and label it a certain way, and we'll make sure it gets where it's going. We'll talk more about that and begin some videos as we get closer, but it is an AZ, or what's the big one? The good one?
AZA.
AZA, is that the most prestigious one?
Yeah.
Okay, it's an AZA accredited zoo as part of the species survival plan, which means they are helping to breed species to be reintroduced into the wild that are endangered. That includes things like the Amur leopard, our tigers. They'll work with other zoos to get things sent in for that purpose and send some things off for that purpose. Getting another breeding pair of hienas. So if I told you that or not.
Yes.
That's supposed to be happening. It's really awesome.
Exciting.
So we're going to continue to help them out through what we do here. We make money from animals, we got to give money back to animals.
Absolutely.
Bingo. Don't crawl the fuck out. All right, that is all I've got. Curry, you want to add? And hey, you can yell at your pet snakes. They don't have ear holes. It doesn't even hear me yell at it. It does feel vibration. So if I do this, it feels that. It probably doesn't hear me talking though. No. If it does, it doesn't hear it like you and I hear it.
Yeah.
Just like it doesn't love like you and I love. Sorry, I had to get that in there. All right, I'm done.
Alrighty. So, again, leave those comments. Let me know what you think, and we'll catch you guys next time.